Alright folks, the first Czech light tank from the autocannon tech tree will start at Tier 7 with the Škoda T17, even though it was teased that the whole line should have started at Tier 5. So why did Wargaming scrap the Tier 5 and Tier 6? Is it too much work? Are the vehicles too overpowered? Possibly both, but the models theoretically should exist. So they'll probably reintroduce these two during holiday ops for loot box or something. But this was a teaser back during last year's holiday ops at the end of the year. So you can see the Japanese gun cooling heavy tanks, as well as the Polish tank destroyers with the damage drop-off system. So they're all modeled. It's pixel of a shape, but it's still modeled. It's still there. So they have the model for the Tier 5 and Tier 6. Just not using it, right? Jumping straight towards Tier 7. So you can see the 𝗦𝗸cie 108, the Junus and Jutos, the Type 57, 68, and 71. It's still there. It's a pixel, but it's still there, right? You can make out the general shape of it, but same goes with the SDP 40, the 𝗦𝗸cznie, the 𝗦𝗸cze, the 𝗦𝗸cie, Kalina, yada yada. But these two vehicles are scrapped for now. So can I zoom in? It kind of looks like a T50 of a sort, right? Small light tank-ish. This one looks more like a T70 or T80 light tank. It's not the T80 that you know, but it's a Tier 4 light tank from the Russian line, kinda, or T46 or so. But the Škoda T17, it's there. Same goes with the VZ64, as well as the LPT67, and then finally the VZ71. So they have the vehicle models. It's there, but Wargaming scrapped it for now. So loot box, obviously. But jumping back to the actual video, or the actual vehicle for the video, it's a baby Škoda T27 or T50. It's cute. It's not exactly an autocannon though for the T17. It's a rapid firing 75mm. So get you the taste of the guns before actually giving you the guns. It plays like a AMX 1357 or the original autoloader on the 5916 before they nerfed it, but cute, very cute of a baby vehicle. Even has the pike-shaped hull front that doesn't do anything. Similarly goes with the Škoda T27 or T50, or even the T71, the Detroit Arsenal light tank for the Americans at Tier 7 as well, but it's cute. The stock gun is a 66mm. So this is a damage dump of a magazine autoloader to the rear end of large vehicles. So you cannot let this vehicle survive that long because it only takes 1.3 seconds between each shot. It will mag dump to the rear end of large vehicles and run away. So the same thing goes with the AMX 1357. So kind of annoying to deal with unless you have armor, but they'll probably spam gold shells like any other scum. So it's not a bad looking vehicle. Put a machine gun on top and you'll be good to go. But yeah, only 80 alpha for the 75mm. It's 142mm of pin, so around the same general ballpark as the AMX 1357, but surprisingly less alpha damage for a bigger caliber of a gun compared to the 57mm L100 on the AMX 13. So somehow that doesn't work or works out, I don't know. So only 5 rounds in the clip. You will burst damage only 400 alpha compared to about 700 on the 57. So you do reload faster, right? But it's like the same playstyle between the Czech medium tanks with the autoloader to the Batchet medium tanks. So you have a faster reload but less of a burst damage potential with the mag dump of the autoloader. But yeah, 1.33 seconds between each shot and 2 seconds aim time. You're not fully aimed, you're just mag dumping with the shells. Same accuracy is not great too, 0.4. It's about 0.38 with the crew, but You don't need accuracy at the rear end of large vehicles, right? 8 degrees gun depression, 20 elevation, only 80 rounds. Now, DPM is about 1500. The potential damage on this vehicle kinda wonky. Only 6,400. So you don't really have that many shells to magged up. It's the same concept with the 𝗦𝗸ಗ್ಗೆ𝗱57, right? You cannot spam too much, otherwise you run out of shells. The potential damage on these two vehicles or any low tier light tanks is basically crap. So you're not expected to deal that much damage, but whatever. Crew of 3, so very fitting for all the vehicles of light tank origin with the autocannons and light medium tanks. But 56 kilometers per hour top speed, 19 reverse. Reverse seems kind of slow for a light tank. It's okay for a medium, but light tanks usually have like 23, 25 for reverse speed. So a little bit slower, but horsepower per ton ratio, 24.7, good enough. Hull traverse, turret traverse seems more like a medium. So this is a baby medium tank. It's not exactly a light tank. It has the characteristics, but it's more of a combat light tank, if you will. Health is actually pretty healthy for a light tank at tier 7. Armor is non-existent, so you get punched. You'll get even penetrated by the Mauser machine gun on the Panzer 1C. So no armor whatsoever. 17.7% camouflage rating, not bad. It's better than something of a Bulldog or the BZ-131, but combat light tank. View range somehow a little bit worse than 390 on the 𝗦𝗸ಗ್ಗೆ𝗱57. Is it also 370 on the T17s? Radio is not optimal, but workable. So usually 700 meters of radio range. But vehicle seems alright. It's a combat light tank. Does burst pretty well, but DPM is kind of if. Yeah, about 1400 or so with the top gun. Cannot have too many good things about this thing. The 𝗦𝗸ಗ್ಗೆ𝗱57 has like 1700 DPM or so, or 1800 DPM. It is an 8-round clip of 90 alpha damage. So yeah, compare this to this. Whoa, 1867 DPM. So yeah, 8 rounds in the clip, 1 second between each shot. It does take longer to reload the clip, but there are more shells, so bursts more damage. 90 alpha compared to your 80 alpha for a smaller caliber of a gun. Guess the shell velocity is the main reason, but okay. What does has faster aim time? Yeah, it's a L100, right? L100, 57mm. So yeah, this thing is annoying to deal with. Mostly the dumping of the damage. 720. That's a lot for a light tank in the span of a 7-second bursting. But accuracy is not as good. You do have more health, and there is a paper problem, a hidden value for the 𝗦𝗸ಗ್ಗೆ𝗱57. It has no armor. Actually 50mm, not bad. Okay, but this thing doesn't have 17.5 horsepower per ton ratio. That is a misleading red herring of a stat. It has hidden parameters that makes it better. The 𝗦𝗸ಗ್ಗೆ𝗱57 actually has, I think it's 24 horsepower per ton ratio according to tanks.gg. So 𝗦𝗸ಗ್ಗೆ𝗱57 25.85. So misleading, that overrides hidden stats that override the normal values. Doesn't really have 17 horsepower per ton ratio. No, they even mentioned it on the main actual Tankopedia page. It's not that. It's not 17 horsepower per ton ratio. It's about 26. So misleading, obviously, for this thing. But this is one of the better. Actually, it might be the best tier 7 light tank. And I like my T17 or T71 Detroit Arsenal with a better 76mm autocannon. So this thing punches harder, right? And the DPM is not that bad, but yeah, okay. So this vehicle seems kind of weird. It wants to deal the damage, but doesn't have the alpha damage for the rapid firing gun compared to 𝗦𝗻𝗻𝗄1357 for some reason. So I don't know. Camo might be better than the T71. View range is not as good as the T71. We'll have to see. So let's see. View range, Tier 7 light tanks, 400 T71. Okay, never mind. Yeah, range. View range is good on the American light tank. All of them are generally good, other than the car. The car is stupid. Shitty on the car. So your view range is about the same as the WZ-131. So you are a combat light tank. You're not exactly a spotting light tank compared to 390 or 400. That's not actually the vehicle. 390. There's no 400. That is a hidden value thing. It's not there. There's no such thing as a premium T71 Cadillac version. None of that shenanigans. But let's see. Horsepower per ton ratio? Oof. Yeah. 24 is still middle of the pack. On the lower end, but not as bad as the Awful Panther. This thing is a red herring. It's not that. You didn't even include this. It's supposed to be other value. Alright, fine, whatever. But DPM, let's see. 2000, 1600. So DPM is on the lower end. Like with a setter, whatever. It's kind of crap. DPM is crap. Let's see camo. Can it spot? Stationary camo, 19.7%. So it's not bad. It's, yeah, top end of the pack in camo. So you can actually spot for your team. I did not know it's only 14% for the T71 Detroit Arsenal version. That sucks. It's only 13.17 for the Cadillac version. That's also crap. So you can actually spot, but top speed is kind of if for a light tank, especially reverse speed as well, but it's about the damage. So if you survive long enough, that's when autocannons or autoloaders will shine. You have the burst damage against single targets, right? Assassin vehicles, even though DPM is not that great. But this is the stock gun with the 100 rounds. It's only 130 millimeters of penetration for the stock 66 millimeter. So, yeah. I mean, you're only spotting. You don't need to use the gun, but they don't mention how many shells for the 66. Actually, 5. Never mind. 5 rounds of 65 alpha damage. 12 seconds or so reload. Yeah. DPM on the base stock gun is also kind of crap, but just spot for your team, right? Alright. You have to research the turret to get the gun, so you're more incentivized to actually spot than rather deal damage right off the bat. Huh. Alright, better comparison between stock and actually fully upgraded vehicle. So more alpha damage, more penetration, yada yada. Rate of fire is about the same. Surprisingly. What? Reload time is also the same. Same goes with the clip and the damage, but you have a faster traverse for the turret once you upgrade. And DPM goes up because more alpha damage, but not as good accuracy, not as good aim time. Okay, that's fine. Same gun depression, elevation, same armor. You get more weight to your vehicle, weighs about 20-ish tons. More engine power for better horsepower per ton ratio, yada yada. Better hull traverse. Same camo and better view range. Radio seems kind of wonky too. So you are combat medium tank or combat light tank. Little medium tank, but when you start the grind, you are more incentivized to play as a light tank. So, stock turret looks kind of gross. So basically for all light tanks, the equipment loadout is kind of simple. Optics, turbocharger, and low exhaust camo system. So basically buffing your mobility and the camo in the same time. So moving camo as well. But only the Americans could put vertical stabilizer. I don't think the British could put it. Can the British put vertical stabilizer? They could. Never mind. But yeah, the Chinese obviously don't have vertical stabilizer for light tanks. Never mind. What the hell do I know? What the hell? You should not put vertical stabilizer. You should not focus on damage dealing. Just put optics, turbocharger, and low exhaust for the camo. You don't need improved hardening. You don't need spall liners. These are not what you're doing. There's not a speciality for light tanks to have that much health. You don't have that much health anyways, but it has more health than the WZ-131. Interesting. So you are a combat light tank. You are not a spotting, camping in the bush light tank. Like with this thing is so good when you think about it. It can spot. It has a camo. It also has a damage dealing burst. Yeah, it's one of the best, possibly the best tier 7 light tank. I like mine. I like this thing as a close second, but it's also about the burst. This thing has very good top speed, 70 with the turbocharger. So yeah, I like mine, but field modification, there's no difference. So unless you have the car, all of them are the same. And basically, top speed or engine power. I think engine power is good enough. You don't get that much out of it unless you're going through towns. So 27 compared to 25. And it's still 4 kilometers per hour difference between the field mods. So I would rather have the top speed. Top speed feels a little bit better. You'll reach that top speed if you just go long enough. But I will say top speed in general. But if you feel that you're having more city maps, that you need to make the wide turns for the horsepower per ton ratio, then engine power will be a little bit better. But I will say top speed. DPM or accuracy size. It's not that big of a change between DPM. Like 1816 to 1889 is nothing, but look at the accuracy. 0.38 to 0.35. That is dramatic. Go with the accuracy. Definitely go with the accuracy, especially for the DPM on this vehicle. It's not that great anyways. Not really. So yeah, DPM is already not that great. Might as well go with better accuracy for 0.38. Yeah, better accuracy over the DPM. DPM doesn't change that much. And finally, protection for the crew and less stun duration or reverse speed. This one's difficult. But if you already have the turbocharger, then go with better protection. So if you don't have the turbocharger, maybe reverse speed. Reverse speed on the light tanks are generally good, right? So without this, it's like 28 going backwards. So generally, yeah, I would say protection, but this vehicle's reverse speed is kind of if. Only 19 going backwards. So I don't know. There's a reason they nerf the lower tiers or scrap the lower tiers, the tier 5 and tier 6. So you have to survive longer to make use of your burst damage of a gun, right? The same applies to the autocannons, the same applies to the autoloaders. They're the same playstyle, assassin vehicles that go towards the rear and mag dump the entire clip and runs away, or just runs toward a corner for like 10 seconds and run back to dump more. But the look of the vehicle is good. The performance of the vehicle is more comfortable of a gun angle than the AMX 1357, even though you have less alpha and less DPM than that vehicle. So if this thing would have like 2000 DPM, then it's very good. On the other hand, the top speed, the reverse speed is also wonky, so cannot be that overpowering. For now, it's a special playstyle that will lead you to playing the Panzer 1C at a higher tier, I presume, which is interesting to say the least, but I would say 6 out of 10 without actually knowing how well the autoloader for this thing will work, because the Škoda T25 is a very good medium tank at tier 6. It's a rapid firing sort of an autoloader. But yeah, I love this thing. This thing is fun. Even though DPM is crap. DPM is crap for a tier 6 medium tank, right? You have the Cromwell at about 2,300 DPM. You have the Sherman Fury or Easy 8s at about 2,200 DPM or so. So tier 6 medium tank DPM is very crazy. This is swimming like ocean of a shark when you're like a fat seal of a DPM design, right? So tier 6 medium tanks, they have a lot of DPM. So this thing 1,600. 2,400. So DPM on the Škoda T25 doesn't really compete. Doesn't even compete close to the aggressive DPM machines of these vehicles. Not even close. Yeah, of course not. But yeah, it doesn't even compare to a Firefly. Jesus. How about a Panther? No, not even close. Not even close to a T34. No. So the longer you survive, the better the DPM works for you for the autoloader. It's about the burst damage. It is surprising. So mag dump a 400 alpha clip. Not bad when you think about it, right? The same concept that goes towards vehicle that seems kind of bad, but not really. It's stuff like the Boresk. Yeah, the DPM kind of sucks, aim time kind of sucks, accuracy kind of sucks, but goddamn, dispersion on this thing is great. So dump the damage in a very quick amount of time. So I wouldn't put it off for this vehicle. I wouldn't put it off the T17 as low DPM. It seems bad on paper, but if it survives long enough, the power magnitudes exponentially unfolds the killing power of this thing. Yeah, right off the bat, if you're going 15 versus 15, don't be too crazy. But if it's like one-on-one against another light tank, this thing will likely win. So I would say 6 for now, but I'm scared about the actual autocannons. Autocannons are generally crazy. It's like playing with autoloaders that doesn't miss and can afford to miss. You don't need that many shells. So we'll see how the actual autocannons will go, but there's a reason they removed the tier 5 and tier 6. Makes you think, right? So there you go, folks. The Škoda T17. Introduction to the craziness coming soon, but you already have a taste with the overwhelming fire thing that we already played with, but we'll have to see. But as always, thank you guys for watching this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.